Good morning, my fellow yogis. If you're feeling a little sluggish or distracted today, here's a quick practice for you. It will boost your energy and clear your mind for a fresh start. Let's get started at the top of your mat, keeping your feet hip width apart, with your palms at heart center, closing your eyes, releasing those shoulders, and taking a couple of deep breaths here. Opening your eyes, releasing your arms down by your sides in mountain. Taking a deep inhale, raising those arms overhead, palms together, and exhale back down to mountain. Repeating that again, taking a deep inhale as you raise those arms up overhead, and exhale back down to mountain. Taking another deep inhale as we raise those arms up overhead, palms together, and exhale, swan dive all the way down, releasing your head. Taking another deep inhale, coming all the way back up, inhaling, raising those arms up overhead, palms together, and exhale all the way down, releasing in your fold. Inhale, half forward bend, pressing into those lower legs, and exhale, fold. Stepping that right leg back and the left into all fours. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. I'm going to slide forward a little bit so I have a little room. You're going to extend that right leg out to the side, keeping that foot flat, and then lifting that right arm up as you inhale, and exhale through that little window, tucking the belly button in. We'll repeat that a few times, warming up the core here. Do one more. And then switching sides, extending that left leg out to the side, flattening the foot, lifting that left arm up as you inhale, and then exhale through that little window. And then coming back to all fours, we're going to slide those knees back, coming into a forearm plank. So interlacing your fingers, elbows are underneath your shoulders, extending those legs back. Taking a couple of deep breaths here, engaging that core. Then lowering the knees and belly down to the mat. Coming into Sphinx pose, so elbows are underneath your shoulders. You could keep those palms down, lowering your hips down to the mat and looking straight ahead. Broadening across the collarbones here, opening that chest forward. And then bringing those hands underneath those shoulders and in near upper front ribs. Inhale, you could come into a cobra or upward facing dog, releasing those shoulders down away from your ears. And then exhale, making your way back into your down dog, pushing the mat away from you, pedaling those feet, spreading through your toes, wrapping your outer arms in. Always listening to those hamstrings. We're going to widen up your stance here. You could keep a slight bend in the knees right here. And then tucking the belly button in, walking those hands back to your feet. Turning those toes out to the sides in a little plie squat position and bringing your hands to your thighs. Now we're going to look over that right shoulder, sitting the hips back, And then coming back center and switching sides. And then lowering those hands back down, turning those toes forward, bending the knees, keeping them bent, and coming back into your downward facing dog. So adjusting your feet, hip width apart, lifting your hips up and back. Releasing your head. Now lifting that right leg up into three-legged dog and stepping forward into a little lunge. Keeping that front knee aligned right above the ankle. Now if you wanted to use a block here, you could place it to the right of you. We're going to lift those arms up. Inhale and exhale as you sink into your lunge. Now we're going to take that right hand, bringing it to your block. So fingers are facing out to the side. You could always adjust the block to a different level or reach down for the mat. And then reaching over to the right with that left hand. Keeping that knee aligned right above that ankle as you reach over to the side. And then release, placing the block to the side, framing your right front foot and extending that left leg and holding it here. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. And then bending the knee, stepping forward into your fold. Inhale as you raise those arms up overhead, palms together. And exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, half forward bend with the flat back looking straight ahead, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sitting back into a chair, reaching those arms up, releasing those shoulders down away from your ears. You could always come higher in your chair, sitting those hips back. And then lifting all the way up into mountain. We're going to step back with that left leg into a warrior two. So lining your back arch with your front heel, making your way into your warrior two, releasing those shoulders down away from your ears. And then bringing your hands to your hips, turning your feet facing forward about 3 to 5 feet apart, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So bringing your hands to your hips, shifting your hips forward as you lower down, keeping that back flat. You can release your fingertips to the mat if you wanted to reach those arms back, grabbing onto your forearms or interlacing your fingers and extending those arms up and back. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. You could always keep a micro bend in the knees for those hamstrings. And then releasing your arms, walking your toes and fingers back to the top of your mat into your forward fold. Taking a deep inhale as you come all the way up and reach up overhead, palms together, and exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half forward bend, and exhale, stepping back into a high plank. Lifting your hips up into downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg up into three-legged dog and stepping forward into a low lunge. Bringing those arms up overhead, releasing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then if you use your block on the opposite side, using your block once again on this side, placing your hand on your block, your left hand this time, and then reaching over to the left with that right hand, keeping that knee in line. And then release, placing that block to the side, framing your left front foot, extending that right leg and holding it here. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And then stepping forward into your fold. Taking a deep inhale as you come all the way up and reach up overhead, palms together. And exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale as you raise your arms and sit back into chair pose. Releasing those shoulders down, away from your ears. Looking straight ahead or up towards your fingertips. And then exhale as you fold. Inhale, reaching those arms all the way up overhead, palms together. And exhale, back to mountain. Coming back into warrior two on the opposite side. So stepping back, aligning that back arch with your front heel. Releasing those shoulders down, away from your ears. And finding that focal point straight ahead. Now cartwheeling those arms all the way forward, stepping into your fold here. Taking a deep inhale as you come all the way up, reaching up overhead, palms together, and exhale down to heart center. We're going to make our way into tree pose. Starting out, distributing your weight into your left foot. So depending where you are with your balance for tree, you could stay here, pressing that right foot into your left ankle. If you wanted to come up a little higher or all the way up, finding that focal point straight ahead, maintaining that balance as best you can, and then bringing your hands to heart center. And then release. Pedaling those feet a little bit. And then making your way into tree on the opposite side, mirroring what you did on the opposite side. So finding that focal point straight ahead, really grounding down into those feet. Lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And releasing down. Taking another deep inhale as you bring those arms up overhead, palms together, and exhale down to heart center. Closing your eyes, taking a couple deep breaths here. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.